physician, scientist, searching for a way to tap into the hidden strengths that all humans have. Then an accidental overdose of gamma radiation alters his body chemistry. And now when David Banner grows angry or outraged, a startling metamorphosis occurs.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose, I love comic books, I love talking about them, I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. The Incredible Hulk 342. By Peter David with Todd McFarlane doing the art. I was in middle school when this sucker came out, and Todd McFarlane was changing my life. This was a good time to be alive. Great cover here. I am planning on covering Peter David's run on The Incredible Hulk. But right now, it is just issue by issue, very slow, because I'm currently serializing the X-Men Daily. I just cannot do Hulk Daily, X-Men Daily, and then give you another video with all the other stuff. So I plan on picking up speed on the Hulk once I'm done with X-Men, but I'm still quite ways away before I can be finished with that. So here we go. So I do have a playlist on the Hulk. The Hulk is one of my favorite characters. Thor, Hulk, Wolverine, Spider-Man are my favorites for Marvel, and so I've always have an affinity for the little green giant, although he is gray during this time. I own these comic books. I have the originals in horrible condition because I bought these when I was in middle school, read them, memorized them, and everything. I do have a better I rebought them before COVID, so they didn't cost me an arm and a leg. And here we go. So we got this woman walking here, and so Peter David wants to let us know her name is Fiona, and we get some exposition here, and suddenly we see off panel someone saying, Barbara, and she goes, what? My name isn't. And he's like, and so if you remember Half-Life, we met him a few issues ago, well, more than a few issues ago, but a little bit ago, and he goes, don't you recognize me? It's Tony. Thought I'd lost you forever. Barbara, my beautiful wife, now I can live again. And he holds her. I can start pulling my life together. I can. Wait, you're not Barbara. My mistake. I see her over there. So we know this dude has gone crazy, and he's taken her life here. And so, Barbara, it's me, Tony, wait up. So he's about to, unfortunately, end up killing another person. So all right, so great splash page here. Great art by Todd McFarlane. This is early Todd McFarlane when he started inking himself. He's only been inking himself for 3 issues here, so not quite what we're used to now, but definitely starting to see some of the ticks here. So we have the leader here speaking. So I have noticed that so many so-called villains feel constrained to lay out their plans just before the climax of their machinations. Explain to the hero why the whys and wherefores. When my plan reaches fruition, however, I hope to be otherwise occupied. So when you hear this tape, my dear Hulk, at some point in the future, please accept my humblest condolences. I only wish I could converse with you now, but I can see on my screen that you're yourself somewhat busy. We got our title, No Human Fears, Peter David, Todd McFarlane. Rick Parker is actually quite a serviceable letterer, so not bad himself either. And you can see here that the leader is watching the Hulk on this ultra TV. But of course, TVs back then weren't what would we say, the widescreen as they were referred to as a time, which are now just normal TVs. So the leader continues. 2 hours ago, several women, none of whom was named Barbara, died. Their deaths will seem pointless to most, but to beings like myself, there was meaning, there was purpose. Shakespeare said the world was a stage. He was wrong. The world is a puzzle, but it takes an intellect such as mine to see just how the pieces fit. But I digress, he says. Hulk, even though your mind is stronger than it was, I should proceed chronologically, else I might lose you prematurely. As I dictate this, you battle Half-Life several hours ago. However, he was at my side. I was designing one of the agents who will steal a gamma bomb for me when Half-Life said, "You don't need any new agents, leader. I'll steal the bombs for you." Indeed, he asks, how should I trust you with such a mission? Your first for me to battle the Hulk was a total botch. And Half-Life says, that's the most unkind cut of all, he says. His pleas were sincere and annoying. I really do like Peter David writing his Peter Davidisms. I think Peter David is a phenomenal writer. He just gets a lot of slack for his campy, sometimes comical dialogue, but I like it. I truly do. I'm a huge fan of Peter David. He is still with us. His health hasn't been very well, but Peter David is a great writer. I collect a lot of his stuff. I did not collect his Aquaman because really I don't care about Aquaman. I don't care who's writing it. Jeff Johns can even get me to pick up Aquaman, and I love Jeff Johns. So, and it was even who the heck drew it with Jeff Johns? Was it Ed Benes? It was some anyway. Beautiful art. I still wouldn't buy it. I feel the same way with Namor. It's not just Aquaman. It's Namor and all these fish or underwater things. But X Factor, both his runs were fantastic. His second run was even more. He had an incredible, pardon the pun, run on Hulk. Very long, about 12 years. He, oh my goodness, not Teen Titans. What was it? Young Justice for DC Comics. Supergirl also for DC Comics. Lot of stuff. I really like Peter David. So his pleas were so sincere and annoying that eventually I took pity on him. I would give him one more chance. If he could destroy the Hulk, then he could steal the bombs for me. If nothing else, it seemed a good opportunity to witness this new Hulk in action. I mounted a small camera on Half-Life's armored chest for a live or half-live feed. Attach whatever you want, leader. I'm not afraid. After all, when you're dead, what else is there to fear? And the leader says, you can't even begin to imagine. Now, this leader was a redesign with the big brain. Prior to this, the leader had the long brain, but he stepped into my matter transporter, the same device that saved my life not long ago, and I sent him on his way. How did I know where you were, Hulk? I'm sure that crossed your mind. And he says, mine in quotations. By the time you hear this, it won't matter. When I absorbed the gamma radiation out of Rick Jones, I accidentally established a psychic link with him just before the cave blew up and separated us. I can't control him as I can others, but I know everything he knows. His whereabouts, plans. Also how to play acoustic guitar and harmonica for what it's worth. And I have covered these issues here. I covered John Byrne's run, then I covered Al Milgram's run, and then we went straight to Peter David. So I've got quite the Hulk playlist here. And so the leader continues. And so, as soon as Half Life had, in his rapidly increasing dementia, sated himself on the life force of several more hapless normals. I love this. Todd McFarlane is king of the vertical panels. He went straight after you, Hulk. And so we are now again after last issue with the Man Bull here. So they got the Man Bull thing in protective custody, and this is Clay's brother. Yeah, and and my fellow farmers promised to hush up your participation to keep the authorities off our case. Long enough for me to tap into the government computers and discover where the gamma bombs are that you guys are hunting for. Cracking shield files is way too tough, but government system, we did that stuff at MIT before breakfast. Um, and he goes, "Geez, Clay, I can't believe I'm doing this for you. I'm risking everything getting involved with this insanity. Sometimes we just do things we're afraid of, brother of mine. Isn't that right, Hulk?" says Clay. And Hulk says, "I wouldn't know." Part of the thing that I love about McFarlane's Hulk is the brow. It's he gives Hulk this brow that not very many other people just go. And so, got something, Alan? Says Rick. Sure do, Rick. According to Pentagon classified files, they're manufactured wholly. There's 5,000 gamma bombs stored in a military base in Yuma, Arizona, underground, I think. Real quick here, I was gonna, and this is the stuff that started to take over what I call the image, um, ticks, because Jim Lee did it, and then Will Portacio did it, and then Rob Liefeld did it, McFarlane. It just these ticks, and so eventually I'm going to do a commentary on the mid '90s image and how it affected all of comicdom. So. And so we now have a restaurant worker, and of course, this guy's still looking for Barbara, and he grabs. This is the wife of oh my gosh, Alan, and so um, she screams, and Hulk comes out going Noah, and you can see Half Life kind of getting in there. Love how McFarlane just makes Hulk look so big, like he doesn't fit in the panels. He said that was one of the things he wanted to do. So Half Life tries to go in, but you can see that he's dragged out, and so Hulk says, "This Berg always have this much action. First that horn bull thing, and a few hours later this armored." And then he doesn't finish his sentences. He pounds him into the ground. He goes, "Wait, I feel weak. I felt this way once when Half-Life, but how?" And Half-Life jumps on him like this: "Sweet pomegranate wine in my mouth is bitter as gale of birds, but your embrace along gives life to my heart." Very poetic. Um, and you can forget ripping me apart this time, Hulkster. This titanium armor will hold me together, and you're already too weak to damage it. So he's taking the power basically away from the Hulk here. So, and so the leader continues again, vertical panel here, just very cool. Um, as I dictate this, Hulk, you're fighting for your life. If you should happen to survive and eventually hear this, it may comfort you to know you're not the only one with problems. Take, for instance, Agent Trump of S.H.I.E.L.D. and his civilian advisors, Larroquette and Saunders. So, again, this has nothing to do, no commentary on Donald Trump. This is 1987. He wasn't president. Ronald Reagan was. So, um, it, he just happens to have a last name of Trump. So, well, that press conference was certainly a disaster, says Larroquette. And Trump says, "At least my greatest fear hasn't come past, namely Nick Fury hasn't stuck his nose into this." And all of a sudden, off panel here, hiya, Trump, and of course we got Nick Fury here. Love how McFarlane. This is great of him, just kind of really leaning in there. So, just hit town. Want to tell me what the devil's going on here? He asks. Um, and so Larroquette says, "Colonel Fury, with all due respect, stay out of our affairs. Our work is vital. The Hulk must be stopped. Bruce Banner eliminated." And Fury says, "Who are these buzzos?" He says, "Ugh, civilian advisors, sir," says Trump. "I want them out now." And Larroquette's like, "You can't do this." And so they're sitting in the bus station here with their bags. I was so sure he couldn't do that. Some people hate this about Peter David. I freaking love it. I think Peter David is a fantastic writer. He's one of my 10 favorites writers of all time. So um love it here, like a mother embracing her baby. Look at Hulk. This is just awesome. "You're gonna die, Hulk. Die as I absorb the radiation from you. Die and I'll live," he says. So Rick Jones then comes with a oh my goodness, a shovel, and hits him in the back of his head here. Just the crang. I love it here. "I stunned him loose. Yank him loose." Or yanked him, Hulk. Sorry. So out goes Half-Life, and Hulk just kind of collapses. He goes, "He makes me weak. Can't be weak. Strength is all I got. I'll fight anybody who's strong, but not someone who makes me weak. We need to know. So sorry. We know what we need to know. Let's get out of here," he says. So, and Alan goes, "And leave that creature running around. He obviously came here because of you. But if you're scared, then I'll." And Hulk is like, scared. Oh my goodness gracious, that is awesome here. And Alan's like, "Crap. Scared is for humans. I'm the Hulk." "Oh, good. He got a second win," says Half-Life. So, um, "you can only drain off my power if I get too close." So he grabs the uh, what would you call it, the log for the power lines. "So I'll only touch you with a 10-foot pole." So, and so long distance, the next best thing to being there. But of course, he's quite strong also. "But with the strengths I've already drained from you, now I can really reach out and touch someone." This is based on AT&T commercials, so more puns from Peter David. So again, vertical panels. McFarlane is so good at them here. So this one here, Hulk is jumping up. So Half-Life says, "Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet." And now he comes to bury me, not praise me. Great again how McFarlane decides. Him and Frank Miller are the two kings of vertical. Um, oh, beautiful here. So Hulk lands. You can see here it just squashes this poor guy. And so you're 6 feet under this time, Half-Life, you freak. So what? No, I'm getting weaker again. Faster this time. Gotta escape. And so Half-Life is grabbing him by the ankle. "He's trying to get away from me. He's afraid of me. The Hulk is afraid," he says here. And so the leader continues here. "I do not expect Half-Life to win. He's far too single-minded, fantasizing that he can someday return to his simple life as a humble English professor. He has a plan, but that's all. I do not have a plan. I have many plans, each being carefully cultivated and developed. Should one not work, another one can take its place. So many pieces in the puzzle. Betty Banner, for example, the departed wife of Bruce Banner, also known as the Hulk. So, I've recently decided, however, that it is time to bring Mrs. Banner to me. One operative commented that she did not appear quite well. So, oh, I should have gone this way. I'm sorry. Um, Through my assorted operatives in major cities, I've kept track of her, abetted by computer keeping records of when and where she uses her charge cards, which are known as credit cards here. So, so I felt it necessary to send one of my androids to bring her in. After all, for all the puzzles to fully take shape, I must be sure that all the pieces are at hand. You know now that I think on a perhaps it's not a puzzle after all, it's more like a game of chess. Yes, rather like that. Mrs. Banner as one of my pawns, and you can see here this robot he was designing grabbing her. A constant ever shifting game, and while my androids gather two more knights, another one of my pawns is locked in a battle with a king. So, who are the other two? We'll find out. And so you see here just double page, and he has really absorbed the Hulk. And look at Half-Life. He no longer looks um like, a corpse. He just looks really good. And now we've got skinny, weak Hulk here. Um so Half-Life says, Great Caesar fell. Oh, what fall was there, my countrymen. Look at you, Hulk. So weak, you can't even stand. And me, so powerful. I don't even have to touch you anymore to take your power. And Hulk says here, he's pulling my strength from me so fast, faster than my body can replace the cells. So this is what it's like to be weak. For the first time in my life, I don't hate Banner. I pity him. So, gosh, this is awesome. Full moon, always a full moon. So, and when you die, I'll be human again, and I can go home to Barbara. I can pick up the shards of life, start over again, be a teacher, go to the dean's teas. Um, I can be Tony Masterson again, and your human half made like this. How beautifully ironic that your death will restore me to what I was. Listen carefully, Hulk. That's whose approaches, and so Rick Jones is running toward Hulk and calls out for him. And Hulk says, Stay back, Jones. He's mine. And so, man, look at this. Oh, just amazing here. And so Half-Life just keeps doing some more quotes here. You never quit, do you? Still act like a teacher, tossing quotes around. You want me to admit I'm afraid of dying? Fine. The whole reason I hate Banner is because I'm afraid he might find some way to get rid of me. But if this is it for me, I'm not going out whimpering. I won't beg for life. But you'll be begging for death. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you? You're living in a dream world, Tony. You really think you can just start over? You'll just spend your days terrifying people and waiting for the energy you've stolen to wear off, so that you'll be like you were, or even worse. If death is here for me, I'm not afraid, but you're going to be afraid of living. Going day in and out, afraid of being what I was. Yes, deteriorating to that weak, wretched body. How can I live like that? I did it all the time. Now it's your problem. And he's like, no, I don't want it. It's yours anyway. He's like, no. And so he releases the Hulks. I love how they decided to use magenta in here. Just boom. So the Hulk goes back to normal. And Riggs says, Hulk, what happened? Where's Half-Life? Oh, him? He just let himself go. So that is pretty cool here. And so it's daytime here. So Hulk has reverted back to Banner. Everybody says goodbye. And so remember that everybody looks at the van as just a regular RV. And so the leader concludes here, and he's yawning here. From the final views through his camera, it's obvious to me that Half-Life won't be returning anytime soon. His bid to kill the Hulk has obviously failed, as I knew it would. And so a lot of vertical. So he's gonna kind of continue to go on the monologue, and so we're just gonna get to reveal who all three of the people that he captured were. So we know Betty was one, but he also captured Larroquette and Sanders here. So what is he going to do with them? And we just end here with the leader saying this game becomes more and more entertaining every day. So next issue, totally artificial. Hulk 342 by Peter David with Todd McFarlane as his artist. Man, this could have been an amazing, amazing long run, but last Peter David and Todd McFarlane had a falling out. So, pity. But like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.